What's good, YouTube, man? We back with another reaction video. We about to react to Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow led the scariest team in NCAA history, and nobody told us this. I kind of really know about like some of the players. I don't really know the whole story. I just know about like the one twins, the Pouncey twins, I think, and I know about Aaron Hernandez. But they had Cam Newton and shit too. He had did some fried shit. But I'm pretty sure they about to get real deep into this like story, because I always heard about this story, but I never really sat down and got all the details. So this is a good informational video for me. Good informational video for my NFL fans and subs out there. But make sure y'all tap in, man. And don't be scared to drop a comment, man. That's what we here, man. We here to talk sports or whatever video I react to. Drop it in the comments, bro. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that I need to work on the video, drop it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to like criticism. Like come on now. I've been playing basketball all my life. I've been getting criticized all my life. So anybody that's trying to help me, like in a good way, trying to get my channel better and tell me, oh, like you need to work on this or do this, because I'm all about trying to get my channel better, man. Drop it in the comments. Or if you feel like I need to know something on this video, drop it in the comment. I be feeling like some of y'all be scared to comment, man. But drop it in the comments, like this video. We're trying to get the 10K subs, man. Fuck this. We about to try to get the 10K subs by the end of January, man. So let's get it.
I'm sorry. Extremely sorry.
Aaron Hernandez is arrested yesterday, charged with murder, released by the New England Patriots.
So I would not be surprised if
Crazy.
in the near future that state and government officials get involved.
A former football captain for the University of Florida is now facing murder charges in a 3-year-old cold case.
A man found dead inside the home of Janoris Jenkins.
I forgot about Janoris Jenkins.
You see, in the year of 2008, the New York Giants just beat the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl, and the University of Florida was the dominant team in football. Their head coach was Urban Meyer, and he stacked a team full of talent and full of controversy. Many of those players put in years in the NFL, and the quarterback of the 2008 National Championship football team, Tim Tebow, has now reunited with Urban Meyer 13 years later to try to bring some excitement to Jacksonville's football team. Although this time he won't be doing it as a quarterback, he'd be doing it as a tight end. So far the training camp
no more, you got cut.
Pretty damn good. So what's going on, guys? Your boy Mike here, and today we're going to be looking at very fascinating but extremely sad storylines that surrounded the 2008 Florida Gators, who were foot-ended by football's greatest missionary
I forgot they had
and
Riley
a
too.
convicted murderer with a plethora of misfits in between. Before we get to the content, do me a favor.
And fucking Tim Tebow was like religious and shit.
This video's probably gonna get demonetized.
Crazy.
And that doesn't really bother me. The thing that bothers me is
like
if
real
your content
big
gets
religious.
demonetized, then YouTube isn't gonna recommend demonetized content to a larger audience, because YouTube isn't gonna be able to make money off of this content. So in order to counteract that, please take a moment to sack the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps a lot. Do me a favor and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we bring you consistent NFL content on a
I'm definitely about to subscribe to your channel, Brody.
Out of the way.
This shit look kind of lit. And I'm a support. I support everybody. I'm definitely gonna tap in and subscribe, buddy. Oh yeah, I'm hip to your channel. I think I gotta subscribe though.
Mic
on my
check
TV.
1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Although we're talking about the 2008 Florida Gators, it's important to note that the Florida Gators won the NCAA National Championship in both 2006 and 2008, then lost the BCS Championship game in 2009, and the team sunk into oblivion. In 2007, they weren't great as their record was 9-4, but their quarterback, who we all have heard of, Tim Tebow, won the Heisman Trophy. And thus, that stretch of football played by the boys from Gainesville and coached by Urban Meyer was pretty impressive, but I digress. In 6 seasons under Urban Meyer, the University of Florida won 65 games, 2 SEC championships, and that pair of national championship trophies. In 2008, the mighty Gators outscored their foes 611 points to 181, averaging 31 more points per game than their opponents. They scored over 50 points 5 times, and Urban Meyer was an A+ student in the film room, and his strategic intelligence gave his staff the ability to come out on top against against virtually anyone. UF had a microscope on their opponent's weaknesses and exploited it week after week. That is until Ole Miss came to the Swamp in week 4 and the Gators were shocked. They lost to that unranked team by 1 point, and Tebow, known for gaining any needed yardage via his feet, was stopped on a crucial 4th and 1. Following that game, cried crocodile tears over the loss, Tim Tebow stirred the hearts of fans with a 30-second speech from deep within his overflowing heart. Coined the promise, Tim Tebow stood at the podium and stated that the Florida Gators would prevail. The quarterback stayed true to his words and his team followed, and there wasn't another loss for the UF football team that season, all the way to the victory over the Oklahoma Sooners in the BCS championship. Tebow's words were so monumental that they were literally etched into a plaque outside the Gators locker room. Not only was Tebow an influential public speaker, but he was the it quarterback of college football and was surrounded by a colorful cast of great football players.
Percy
Hatching
Harvin.
odds in the regular was Percy Harvin, who would eventually have a remarkable NFL career as well. In addition to Harvin, Urban Meyer's team had Jeff Demps and Chris Rainey, who were both really fast. We're talking elite speed here. Then there was the big, multi-talented receiver in Riley Cooper, and the best tight end in the country in Aaron Hernandez. Then backing up Tim Tebow before he was injured and before he got into trouble was Cam Newton. If that dominant offense that featured a plethora of NFL talent wasn't good enough for you,
well, it was someone with some computers or laptops or some shit he got in trouble
Florida
for.
Gators defense allowed only 12.9 points per game. Brandon Spikes was a ball-attacking monster in the huddle. No one
I forgot they had Brandon Spikes too.
With him, Carlos Dunlap, and Jermaine Cunningham serving as a literal brick wall. When the opponents of the Gators realized that they couldn't run the ball, they would attempt to throw, and the University of Florida defenders chomped away with 26 total interceptions.
Damn.
Most quarterbacks from other SEC teams
Matt Stafford was out there,
as Dunlap and Cunningham brought down opposing quarterbacks 15.5 times. The safeties Ahmad Black and Major Wright had 11 takeaways for 212 yards and a trio of pick sixes. A quarter of that 2008 Gators roster either played a game in the NFL or was under contract with a team in the league. There were 19 players selected in the NFL draft, then 11 were signed as free agents, and unfortunately, sometimes the best guys on the field become the most troubled off the field. You see, many of the members of the 2008 Florida Gators had some serious run-ins with the law. When do we start with the team that has been deemed quote-unquote cursed? Listen to this. 41 of 121 players on the Florida Gators roster had been arrested from 2005 to 2010.
God damn.
That includes 16 players on the 2008 roster. 9 who were starters,
that's crazy.
teams players who are typically squeaky clean like the kicker and the punter. One of those players who you might have forgotten about was Cam Newton, who left the University of Florida 3 days before the 2008 National Championship game. Leaving the University of Florida wasn't on Newton's own terms. In November of 2008, Newton was charged with theft as he stole a laptop from a fellow University of Florida student. The police stated that Newton tossed the stolen property from the window when they showed up to confront him. For Cam Newton, that was his only blip, and he has mostly escaped the curse of the Gators, as you can find him in a NFL jersey, a Patriots one on Sundays. That is unless a former University of Alabama rookie takes his spot this upcoming fall. Speaking of Patriots, the starting tight end of the 2008 National Championship team, Aaron Hernandez. Hernandez won the John Mackey Award for the best collegiate tight end in the nation in 2009. Even before he was booked for an execution-style murder, Hernandez was in and out of a lot of trouble. While in Gainesville, he was questioned by police after a 2007 shooting, and the authorities also recommended him for a felony battery charge against him after a fight at a local restaurant called The Swamp, where he broke an employee's eardrum via a punch. However, that charge from the bar incident was soon dropped, but we all know how the Aaron Hernandez story ended, as it has been well documented by many. More arrests of the 2008 Florida Gators include Jamar Hornsby. In 2008, Hornsby allegedly made up 70 fraudulent charges on the credit card of a deceased woman. Hornsby was also charged with criminal mischief and property damage. Another safety, Dorian Monroe, was cited with theft when he tried to remove a parking boot from his car. A third safety, Tony Joyner, was charged with breaking into an impound lot to retrieve a towed car.
Man, these Florida boys is crazy.
Lineman Ronnie Wilson was charged in April of 2007,
firing an AK-47,
him, spitting on him, and then opening fire via an AK-47 outside of a nightclub. A defensive back, Jermaine Cunningham, was arrested after an argument with an employee.
We gotta add. Hey, this shit crazy as fuck, bro. God damn, these motherfuckers is wild.
at a fast food restaurant when he threw a stack of cups in their direction. Then there's Carlos Dunlap, defensive end, who was cited for driving under the influence just hours before the SEC Conference Championship game. Cornerback Janoris Jenkins was resisting arrest during his time as a UF football player.
Wow.
Removing him from the team after Jenkins was arrested for drugs. Chris Laney, running back, was also questioned by police when he sent a text message to an ex-girlfriend that read in part the words, "Time to die." Marquise Pouncey, the Steelers' first pick in the 2000 draft, and joined to also first-rounder Mike Pouncey, who both had incredible NFL careers. However, both brothers were scrutinized in an off-season for wearing Free Hernandez t-shirts.
Wow.
In 2014, while in Miami, Michael stated in the Wells report that he, along with teammates, had bullied and harassed fellow lineman Jonathan Martin. Then there is the big wide receiver in
Riley Cooper.
In February of 2009, he was slapped with a misdemeanor of resisting an officer and failure to comply. Riley was signed to the Philadelphia Eagles, and his 835 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns, he ranked second to the NFC East Division champions in 2013. At a Kenny Chesney concert, a very intoxicated Riley Cooper, who was denied backstage access, was reported being very unruly and using racial slurs towards a black security guard. When he returned to training camp weeks later, he got into a scuffle with teammate Kerry Williams. The Eagles released him after that 2015 season. He had a brief stint with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and then retired in 2017. Defensive beast Brandon Slice disappeared from the team for nearly 2 weeks after the 2008 season. But during the 2009 season, he received a suspension for attempting to gouge out an opposing player's eye.
Wow.
Slice was drafted by the Patriots in the 2010 NFL draft, but a leak came and a failed drug test later, and he was suspended for 4 games.
Yeah, Patriots don't play that shit.
Slice was charged with leaving the scene of an incident with injury, driving negligently, and failing to stay within the marked lanes. Gators standout wide receiver Percy Harvin had mood swings, and according to a 2012 Sporting News story, took wide receiver coach Billy Gonzalez by the neck and threw him to the ground, and Harvin had to be pulled off by 2 assistant coaches. Harvin also tested positive for marijuana at the NFL Combine, but it didn't stop.
Percy Harvin said he smoked before every game.
22nd overall pick and the 4th receiver overall in the 2009 NFL draft. Harvin was named the 2009 Rookie of the Year and put up a 7-year career with 4,026 receiving yards, 22 touchdowns, along with several special teams touchdowns. His pro career wasn't without controversy, as when he was with Seattle, he allegedly had
Punch Golden Tate. Heard about that story.
It was also reported that there were NFL games where he sat himself on the bench, refusing to go back on the field. Now, out of all of these players, Tim Tebow was the golden child of the Florida Gators, and was pristine on and off the field with a Bible in his right hand and a left hand that couldn't throw the football a mile. Tim Tebow was always trying to keep Aaron Hernandez out of trouble as well. After Hernandez's dispute with a bartender, Tim was also at that bar and was questioned by police. Tebow stated that he went over to try and help resolve the conflict. After being a college football hero, Tim Tebow had a pretty decent run with the Denver Broncos, winning 1 playoff game against the Steelers.
I remember that.
The AFC West had far less overall power than it does now. A poor showing with the Jets, where he was unable to beat out Mark Sanchez, forced Tebow to explore professional baseball, where he spent 10 years riding the bus across the United States as he compiled 940 at-bats as a 2-2-3 hitter with 18 home runs. Tired of baseball, we can imagine when Urban Meyer accepted the Jaguars head coaching position that Tebow, who lives next door to Meyer, met him on his front porch with a quart of sweet tea and asked if he could give the NFL a shot, this time as a tight end. And for Urban Meyer, you would think that he would have to be held somewhat accountable for all the trouble that his Florida Gators were in. Guess what? It didn't happen. Meyer didn't have any trouble with the law himself, but also escaped any repercussions of covering up any of his athletes' wrongdoings. The Sporting News reported in 2012 that Meyer publicly stated players were hurt when they were actually sitting out a game because of the university testing protocol. In 2012, Meyer was quoted by saying, "I've been criticized that I have been too lenient on players. That doesn't concern me. We're going to go out of our way to mentor, educate, and discipline guys the way we see fit to make sure they're headed in the right direction. Are we perfect? I never said that." In 2009, Meyer announced that he was after losing to the University of Alabama in the 2009 SEC championship game. Meyer said that he was experiencing chest pains with Meyer is that just about everyone knew that he had to know that there was some sort of criminal activity that seemed to follow his University of Florida players. In the Rolling Stone report on the Hernandez case, there was rumors that Urban Meyer may have helped cover up the tight end bad behavior while he was in Gainesville. Let's see if Meyer can have as much success on the field at the pro level of Jacksonville as he did in Gainesville and Columbus.
Man, that's crazy. That was a fucking crazy ass story. Matter of fact, we gonna react to a lot of shit. He got Marvin Harrison. He got Steve McNair. Oh yeah, we definitely gonna tap into his shit. But make sure y'all tap in. I ain't gonna talk your ears off, man. That was a good ass video. With that being said, we gonna wrap this up, man. We about to try to get the channel to 10K subs, bro, by January. Let's get it. You feel me? We locked in, man. But yeah, man, y'all stay safe, stay tuned, drop y'all comments, and we out.